Hey everyone, Diego here. Welcome back to the channel. My apologies for not posting a video for so long. I went away for a bit, but now I'm back, baby. In this video, we have Blueberry Pop versus Green Steel. And we start off by drawing a Megdug Manor, friends on the other side, Goat, Elsa, a Diablo, Tipo, and a Genie. We know that our opponent is running Green Steel, so we definitely want to mulligan away our friends on the other side so it doesn't get sniped by the Ursula on turn 2. And we decide to only alter the friends on the other side and Merlin Goat, since Merlin Goat's time to shine is in the late game, but somehow we end up drawing into another Goat and a Fox, both cards we want to see for the end game. Also, I wanted to let you know that it looks like there will be some cool Lorcana announcements soon, so make sure to check those out. Personally, my wishlist is card reveals, info on the digital Lorcana game, and DLC events. We start off by inking a Fox and playing Diablo for turn and passing. My opponent inks a Muses, plays a Diablo, I reveal my hand. I have a Goat, Manor, Tipo, Genie, and an Elsa. I draw, I ink another Fox, I play a Tipo, ink a mystery card, and quest for 1 with the Diablo, putting me to 1 to my opponent's 0. Then I pass. My opponent inks a Pete, plays an Ursula, and yep, see? We mulliganed away that friends on the other side because we knew that the Ursula was coming. And most of the time, they always have it. I'm going to quest for a total of 2 with Tipo and Diablo. I'm going to ink a Manor and play a Genie to draw a card and pass. My opponent draws. They ink Ursula, a singing Ursula, Deceiver of All. And they play a Prince John. Looks like we're gonna be discarded soon by our opponent. So we just gotta get ahead of the game and keep drawing. So I play a Genie, I draw, and I play a Diablo, and then I quest out with Genie, Tipo, and Diablo for a total of 4 lore. And then I pass. Yeah, against any green deck, you just have to keep drawing and drawing and drawing. Because the moment you don't have a hand, they pretty much win. My opponent plays 2 Cursed Merfolk. And then takes out Diablo with his Ursula, and I draw. And they quest with their Diablo for 1 and pass. I ready up, draw. So I think here I'm thinking whether I want to erase or I want to take out some of their characters, but I opt to just quest, putting me closer to 20, being at 13. Because if I decide to start challenging the characters, it's only gonna slow me down and it's gonna give more time for my opponent to discard more cards from my hand. I play a Bell and a Crab and pass. My opponent plays a Ursula, Deceiver of All. We're feeling pretty good with our board right now. Not to mention having the 2 evasive Genies. So Diablo takes out Diablo, I draw. I also had lethal, so my opponent is forced to take some of my characters out. Prince John is gonna sing Let the Storm Rage on Tipo, taking him out. My opponent draws. They ink a Set and Chill. And they quest for a total of 5 with Ursula and the 2 Merfolk. And they pass. I ready up, draw. If I decide to quest out, I'd be at 19 lore. And my opponent has 6, so if they, next turn, I think at this point I'm doing math, it would be at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, not enough. So I'd be pretty safe just racing. But I don't hear I hesitate a bit because I'm wondering if I should take out some of their characters, but I realize that I don't need to because they're a little bit too far behind in lore. So I just quest out. I ain't got Diablo. I'm proxying Hades, but it's a Gaston, but it's supposed to be a Hades, and I get rid of their Ursula Deceiver of All. I don't want them to sing maybe Strength of a Raging Fire and wipe out my genies. And then here my opponent just scoops it up, and Blurple takes game 1. Alright, game 2. We start off by drawing into a Hades, Big Elsa, Goat, Tipo, Fox, Iago, and a Popsicle. And we only keep the Popsicle and the Tipo. Iago is a nice 4-drop, but definitely not against the steel matchup, since it can easily be taken out by one of the action cards. And we end up finding a Hades, using Gaston as a proxy, Sail the Azurite Sea, Popsicle, Crab, and a Diablo. Nice. We have options for our 1-drop, and we have Sail the Azurite Sea, which we prefer over Tipo in this case because we can drop the 1-drop on the same turn. If you're enjoying the gameplay so far, please subscribe and drop a like. I would appreciate it greatly. My opponent starts off by inking a Muses and playing a Diablo. I reveal my hand, Tipo, Popsicle, Hades, Sail, Popsicle, Diablo, and a Crab. They pass, I draw. I ink friends on the other side because I'm expecting the Ursula on turn 2, and then I play a Diablo and pass. My opponent shifts into Big Diablo, tossing we don't talk about Bruno. They ink a Sudden Chill and play a Smee. They have hand knowledge, and knowing that I inked my friends, they probably played the Smee instead of the Ursula, and then they used shifted Diablo to sing Sudden Chill. I discard my Hades, using Gaston as a proxy, and they pass. I ink a Tipo. I play a Sail the Azurite Sea, drawing a card. I didn't reveal the card I inked. Then I remembered it's not Tipo, it's Sail. So then I reveal it, I ink a Tipo. Then I exert it to play a Diablo. Then I quest with the Diablo that was already on board for 1. And then I pass. My opponent inks a Hypnotize. They hard play a Diablo. And they quest for a total of 3 and pass. Unfortunately, no 4-drop for us, so I play a Popsicle, draw, and then I pop the Popsicle to play a Bell, and then I drop a Crab, give +3 Challenger to one of my Diablos, and then banish their Smee. Then I quest for 1 with a Diablo and pass. My opponent inks a Crookie, plays Ursula Deceiver. I have Tipo and Genie in my hand, no song, thank goodness. And they quest for 2 with both Diablos. This is gonna be rough. I ready up, draw. My opponent draws twice because of the 2 exerted Diablos. I ink a Tipo, and I play a Genie. My opponent draws twice again. I draw once. I quest out for 3, putting me to 5 to my opponent's 5. My opponent readies up. They play Muses. Let the bouncing begin. Both Genie and Diablo are potential targets. On my side, they can bounce their own characters as well if they want. They sing Set and Chill with Ursula. I discard a Fox. They bounce Genie back to my hand. Smee trades with Crab. And they quest for a total of 2, with both Diablos putting them to 7 to my 5 and pass. Already up, draw. I play Elsa and take out one of his Diablos. Bell takes out their Ursula, and Diablo quests for 1, putting me to 6, to my opponent's 7, and I pass. My opponent readies up, they draw. To be honest, I wonder how long this evasive meta is gonna last. Maybe till set 8, who knows, or maybe more competitive cards that are evasive get released and make the evasive decks even stronger. But all I know is that going back to the ban list, I see it as a positive thing, although it might be negative or positive depending on the player. But in general, I feel like it's positive for the community because it forces the players to experiment, to brainstorm, try out new things. There's like so many cards out that nobody uses, and some that don't even realize exist. And then, like, for example, Ruby Amethyst, right? Evasive Ruby Amethyst was always there. It was always there, but just nobody experimented enough to try it out and made it work. But it was always there. So, and that's a good thing because Ruby Amethyst previously only had one iteration of the deck. One competitive iteration of the deck. It had a lot of like theme decks, it had a lot of like casual decks, but only one competitive with a few changes here and there, a few techs here and there, depending on the player. But in general, the foundation was always the same. And meanwhile, you have like blue steel items, blue steel aggro, Amber Steel had Diggy Diggy, Steel Song, Steel Amethyst had aggro and control, Emerald Amethyst had aggro, control, a bit of discard, Blue Red had items, and recently the new action iteration came to light. But I think Ruby Amethyst and Blurple were the only ones that competitively only had one iteration with, like I said before, maybe a few tweaks here and there depending on the player. But now with this new ban list, you know, a whole new deck was born, and now this deck will always be in some way or another a foundation for a competitive foundation for the deck. And then hopefully Blurple, you know, will kind of expand to have other iterations of it that are competitively viable. You know, maybe we get like a one cost Amethyst item in the new set that allows us to play Bell more often on turn 1. Maybe a Blurple items deck, that would be pretty cool, because there are some Blurple items that are some Amethyst items that are pretty sick, you know. I'd like to use them, but there just isn't a reason to, because it wouldn't be competitively viable. Also, I think it's worth mentioning that I have my full play sets of the discard cards from Mad Hatter and Alice in Wonderland ready for whenever those cards get more support, because I cannot wait. A Blurple discard deck, that would be insane. Green Steel takes game 2. Alright, game 3. I start off by inking our friends on the other side and playing a Diablo. Definitely want to ink the friends because I don't want it to get sniped by Ursula on turn 2. My opponent plays the Diablo. I reveal my hand. I show my hand to you guys just so you know what I have there as well. And then they pass, I draw. I ink a sail to play a sail. I draw a card. I ink a goat, play a popsicle. And I quest for 1 with the Diablo and pass. My opponent inks an Ursula Deceiver and then plays an Ursula Deceiver. I reveal my hand once again, displaying the Elsa, Crab, Finders Keepers, and Genie. No song for Ursula. And they take out my Diablo with their Diablo. I draw, and they pass. I ready up, draw, ink a goat, play a Genie, draw, and then I pass. Not sure if you can hear my PC, but it's about to launch into space. I least it sounds that way. Yeah, sometime soon I'll need to get a new one because I feel like this one's on its last legs. I've had it since 2018, 7 years. And let me tell you, I've done some heavy duty gaming on it. So yeah, and it's one of those that you can't really replace the parts. You kind of just have to either buy a new one if you want something new, or build your own. And I think I might build my own this time around. Using Finders Keepers to draw 3 cards feels so nice, especially against this card. And then I quest for 2 with Genie. Yeah, since we took out Rabbit, and we're not getting that draw power from Rabbit pretty much counts as 2 draws. I feel like Finders Keepers was a must to include in the deck. And it's sinkable, which I feel like justifies it being in the deck as well. My opponent shifts Diablo, discarding Let the Storm Rage On. He plays a Cursed Merfolk. And they sing Strength of Avenging Fire on Genie, dealing 4 damage, just enough to take it out. I can sell the Azure IC, play Elsa, take out Diablo. No more drawing for you on my turn. Then I pass. My opponent plays a Muses. Here we go with the bouncing. My opponent's gonna quest for a total of 3 with Ursula and Cursed Merfolk, putting them to 6 to my 3. Then they pass. I ink a Tipo. Gotta find a way to start breaking my opponent's board because it's already getting too wide. And 2 of the characters have wards, so that makes it even tougher. Here, the only character I can take out with Elsa is the Merfolk, but I really don't want to discard a card, so I send it to the underworld with Hades instead. And I pop a Popsicle to heal up the Elsa, and then I hit Ursula for 2. I take 1. Well, Elsa takes 1, and then I pass. So far, this new iteration of my Blurple list feels amazing. I feel like my top decks are much more impactful to the board state than they were before. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you want to see a deck profile video. I'll be happy to do so, to make one. So Hades, Elsa's gonna exert singing Ursula, and then Hades is gonna take her out. I'm gonna ink an Iago, play a Crab just to get a wider board, and then I'm gonna pop a Popsicle to heal Hades for 2, because Hades being at 4 willpower, he's in range for let the Strength of a Raging Fire, because my opponent just needs to play a character and then sing with one of his other characters to take my Hades out. So I definitely want to prevent that. I play a Bell. I love the Bell. Transfer damage from Hades to Ursula to finally take her out. She can sing Set and Chill, and we don't want to discard cards at all. I play a Diablo after questing out with everybody and passing. My opponent's gonna sing Set and Chill. There it is. He still managed to sing it with Pete, but at least Pete won't be challenging one of my characters. He bounces Elsa back to my hand with the Muses, and then he plays a Prince John and a Smee and passes. If I completely quest out, I'd be at 16 lore. So I'm gonna quest out with the big questers that I have, which are Bell accomplished Mystic and Hades for a total of 4. And then I'm just gonna quest out with the rest of my characters. I should be at 16 lore, but I think one of my clicks didn't register, so I'm at 15. And I play a genie and a bell, and I pass. This is pretty much GG's. Still Amethyst can't really answer a board like this. Even if it had, for example, grab your sword, it wouldn't be enough to wipe out my board, especially the evasives. So my opponent bounced Hades with We Don't Talk About Bruno and managed to discard my Hades from my hand. We'd still be at 22 if we completely quest out. My opponent bounces Elsa. They sing Let the Storm Rage On with Prince John, dealing 2 damage to Bell. And my opponent has to take at least Bell out. Yep. And now he's in the green again. But there's still a huge gap in lore. And then he takes out Diablo and trades me with Crab, leaving me only with a Bell. I draw. Bell takes out Prince John. 5 for an Elsa. Elsa takes out his other Prince John. And then 4 for a Genie. I draw. He cleared our board, now we cleared his. And we're almost to 20 here if we're able to quest out with our current characters. But our opponent takes out Bell with the Muses and passes. We ready up, draw. I'm gonna play an Elsa, exert Diablo and take him out. And then also takes out the Muses and we quest for 2 with Genie, putting us at 17 to my opponent's 6. Then we play another Genie, drawing a card, and my opponent scoops. I reveal my hand. I had another Hades using the Gaston proxy and a Crab, and then I would have top decked the Fox. Alright, game 3 and match goes to Blurple, Blueberry Pop. Once again, if you like the content, please sub to the channel and drop a like. I really appreciate you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Happy questing!